Hi girls, it's Thursday. So Nicolette, oh my god. The ending, the season finale of Avatar Legend of Korra was amazing. It was so good. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, though I'm sure you guys were just as excited and all just already saw it anyways. I loved it when Korra, like the way they showed Korra finally connecting with her spiritual energy. And I'm actually really glad they saved the stuff they did for the end because they knew that us fans of the old series would be waiting for those things. We're waiting for them, and that they they came together so well at the season finale. And I totally called it on a couple things, like with Amon, the way he kind of took away bending. I was kind of wrong, but I was kind of right. So I'm kind of happy about that. But I just love the way they wrapped everything up. It was so good, and I totally agree with you on the ships. I totally agree. Bolin and Asami would be a really cute couple just because they're so different, and I could see them like creating this little situation where Asami's trying to get back at Mako for cheating on her with Korra while they were still together by dating his brother. And then it turns out that she actually really connects with his brother and that they have a lot in common and that even though they seem so different that they're actually perfect for each other. So I ship Bosami, Korra and Iroh, or I tried to come up with good, couple name for them, but it actually didn't work out with their names as well. I came up with Cairo or Aurora. Not exactly the best ones, but you get what you got. I think they're such a good shipping pair because like Korra and Mako are already established shipping pair, but now they've introduced this new character who is like he's so much like Zuko except for the whole like searching for his honor thing. He has his honor. So he's so much like Zuko. And Korra, even though she's not a lot like Katara, she also has a very strong personality like Katara. So I can totally see, Iroh and Korra totally clashing because they have such strong personalities and having really good sexual tension. We all love that sexual tension. It would really fulfill our desires for, Zuko and Katara to get together from the first series by kind of translating it down into this new generation. And I just really hope they do something with that because I would love it. And actually, I noticed like a couple of things on the internet where people are shipping Iroh with everyone just because he's so dynamic. And I honestly think he could fit with almost any character shipped with. The only thing I'm concerned about is like there's gonna be a second season. They've announced it, so I don't know how they're going to continue the series from here on out because I know that they already knew they had this plan for only one season, which is why it ended so well and kind of on a definitive note. But I really hope that the second season is just as good and just as exciting as the first season was. I want to see more of Iroh. I want him to join like Team Avatar. I really hope that they, come in where it left off so that we can see Tenzin hosting Boomy in all his crazy glory. I really want to meet more of Aang's, children. And I really hope they do more with Korra and Aang, actually conversing this time. So I'm just really excited for the second season. I don't want to wait at all for it. We're probably gonna have to wait a year for it, and I don't want to wait because the first season was just so good, and the loose ends were tied together so well. Oh, I loved it. And Nicolette, I try to think about that book series that you mentioned to me. I don't think I ever read it because if I had read it, I would have recognized it somehow. But it did remind me of a book series that I can't remember the name of. It's weird because the first book in that series actually had two different titles because the author decided to change them for whatever reason. So I read the first book under the first title, which was Flame, and then I think it was Flame. And then the rest of the series, I don't even remember the title. I didn't even know that there was a rest of the series until someone else showed it to me. And I realized, wait, I read this book already, but it wasn't this book, you know? But I think it's one of those books that wouldn't really translate to us now because even though it was a really good fantasy book, it wasn't a fantasy book that multiple generations could get something out of. So, I'm not really going to recommend it. Other than that, my week has been kind of hellish just because I've been working 8-hour shifts all week, and next week I also have to work all 8-hour shifts. So hopefully I survive such long hours. I'm not really I don't want to be a childcare person, so it's not like I'm doing 8 hours of something I really enjoy. But, the kids are kind of entertaining. And it kind of sucks just because this week and even next week I'm with a couple groups that are actually known for not being the best kids. They're a bit rowdy, they're very loud, they don't take direction very well, they don't like to listen. Monday actually wasn't too bad because they actually had to go outside and draw with chalk on the sidewalk. And at first they really didn't want to do it, but once they started getting into it, they really liked it. And and I was actually working with my mom because we work at the same place, and both the teachers of that room were out, so they put us together. And we were standing there watching the kids, and she said, Amanda, you could draw with the chalk too. The teachers are allowed to draw with the chalk. You don't have to, watch their every move and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll draw a couple things. The kids might get a kick out of seeing their teacher draw something. So, I stood there, I was like, well, if I draw something, that's more, like, geared towards things I like, they're not going to get it. So, I decided to draw something geared towards things they like, and I knew a lot of the kids really liked Pokemon. So I was like, I'll draw Eevee. I like Eevee. Eevee is a Pokemon that has come through all of the generations. Eevee's in every single one of the video games. Eevee's my favorite Pokemon, too. And I can kind of draw Eevee just because Eevee's really simple. So I was like, okay, I grabbed a brown or orangish, I guess, chalk, and I started drawing Eevee. And a couple of the kids came over because, ooh, what's the teacher drawing? They're like, oh, what is that? And I said, well, what do you think it is? Hoping that they recognized something that they liked. And they're like, that kind of looks like a Pokemon. And I was like, yeah, it is a Pokemon. Which Pokemon do you think it is? They're like, is that Eevee? I was like, yeah, that's Eevee. They're like, oh, that's Eevee. Can you draw other Pokemon? I was like, well, I can try. Which Pokemon do you want me to draw? And then they just started asking me to draw like all these different Pokemon, and I was really happily surprised because they actually knew a lot of first generation Pokemon. So, they're asking me to draw like some of Eevee's evolutions. They're asking me to draw Chansey and Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff. And I was happily surprised because I didn't think kids that knew the newer generations of Pokemon knew that many first generation Pokemon. But they also started asking me to draw, the newer generation, and I haven't played any of the newer games. I was like, well, you know what, if you have your Pokemon cards, I can try to draw them based on your Pokemon cards, or if you have the handbook, I can draw them. And the boys got really excited. So for the past couple days, they've been asking me to draw Pokemon for them, and it's actually been really fun. And because I kind of ended up connecting with the boys, I try to connect with the girls too. So I noticed they really like girly things. Like the past couple days they've been sewing and they've been making friendship bracelets. And I didn't really want to start sewing something just because, I didn't want to waste their fabric. But I don't mind wasting their string because they have so much of it. I was like, okay, I'll make some friendship bracelets. And I actually found out that it's really fun to make friendship bracelets. So I ended up making this chevron bracelet, and I really like how it came out. And today I actually started this heart pattern one, and they're really fun to make, and I've been looking up different patterns to make because it's something that's really easy that you start it. Like I can work on this when I'm watching the kids, just because I can sit in a place where I can see them all and tie the knots that I need to be tying and all that to make the pattern. But I can finish a row off and take care of a kid when I need to. I'm not just sitting there, and if they ask me to do something, I'm stuck doing something else. I can put it away and come back to it. So it's really fun. So if you girls want any friendship bracelets, because I'm going to be making a lot and I don't want them all in my house just because it's going to be a lot, and I want to make some for you. So if you guys, like a particular pattern, or like know a particular pattern that I can learn, because you can double this pattern up pretty easily, the chevron one. You can double this one up pretty easily. This one I'm not so sure if you can double it up as easily, but it's cute. So if you like friendship bracelets and you would like a friendship bracelet, and I would like to send you friendship bracelets, and I probably will send you friendship bracelets anyways, even if you want them or not, I'll probably end up making you 3 or 4, so let me know and I will work on that and I will send you some friendship bracelets. Other than that, my week has been really boring. I haven't had time to exercise this week, so if Jessica, you had time to exercise last week, like you said you would, more power to you, because I did not have time to exercise this week. Hopefully I'm going to exercise over the weekend, but other than that, I'm so tired when I get home from work that it's kind of impossible, which is why when I actually start with the classroom I'm in, I'm going to work from 12 to 6 hours because I can get up at 8 o'clock, eat breakfast, exercise, shower, and get out by 12 o'clock, and I'll be able to get my exercise in. So that's how it's been. Not really that exciting, but at least it hasn't been an uneventful week. That's the good thing about it. So, Sarah, I'll see you tomorrow. We need to Skype. I need to Skype all of you, actually. We must Skype this week. Text me when you want to Skype because I'll let you know when I'm free. This weekend's really good for me if you're free. So, I love you guys. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow, Sarah.